Next to me is the new X5, BMW's iconic midsize SUV. In fact, it's the 4th generation of X5 since its creation in 1999, and it's more refined than ever. BMW has made 2.2 million X5s since it was originally created, making it BMW's most popular midsize SUV. So, does this SUV have what it takes to continue the tradition of success? That's what we're here to find out. Special thanks to Bob Smith BMW of Calabasas, California for making this video possible. I've got a link in the description below where you can find out details about this specific X5 and more of them on the site. In the United States, the X5 is currently available with 2 different engine options. There's going to be a 3rd hybrid model added in the future, but for now, we just have the 2. For those seeking lots of power, we have the xDrive 50i. It comes packed with a 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8, making 456 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, which is a lot of power for an SUV that doesn't really weigh all that much. In fact, it's good for 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. Base price will cost you $75,750. For those that wish to save some extra money, the xDrive 40i is an awesome option starting at just $60,700. You get a bit less power, but you also make up for that in fuel economy. 3-liter twin-turbocharged inline-6 that still pushes out an impressive 335 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. The 0 to 60 sprint, still brisk at 5.3 seconds. Not bad. The new X5 has been sharpened up quite a bit in the front end, and it looks fantastic. We've got 2 massive kidney grills that are a bit in your face, but they just look nice. Now, before we had 2 separate kidney grills, but now they've been joined in the center by this chrome piece here. But what's really cool is that inside the grill are active flaps. That's right, the active flaps open and close based on certain driving conditions. If the engine requires more airflow, they open up and air feeds right into the engine bay. If it wants to be more aerodynamically efficient, they close up. Pretty awesome. The new LED headlights look fantastic. If you really take a closer peek, the level of detail is unbelievable. But for those who want a bit more, BMW has laser light headlights that are able to blast 200 meters farther than conventional LEDs. The windshield is even made of acoustic glass to reduce road noise to make the cabin more quiet. Pretty fancy stuff. Around the side, the BMW X5 sits nicely. It comes standard with 19-inch wheels, but for the first time, there is a factory option 22-inch wheel available. Now we've got this side vent here that looks kind of cool. Unfortunately, it's actually fake, but what's not fake is the optional dual axle air suspension option. It actually is able to adjust the ride height of the vehicle to a pretty large degree. When you put it in sport mode, it lowers by 0.8 inches. And when you're loading things into the back of the X5, it drops by 1.6 inches to make it that much easier for you. Around back, we've got revamped wrap-around taillights that look very neat. We've also got trapezoidal exhaust tips and a power-operated liftgate and tailgate that works as so. Simply click the button here, goes ahead and opens up. Then we've got an additional button for the tailgate, plops down, and then super easily, you can pull a tab here and a tab here. The rear seats fold down out of the way, and you've got 72.3 cubic feet of storage, which is plenty of room for literally anything. In fact, there's so much room back here that there are optional 3rd row seats. Below this is actually a tow hook that allows the X5 to tow up to 7,200 pounds. To close it all up, you simply click one button right here, and it goes in one seamless motion. You can even do it with the key. The interior of the new X5 has been upgraded substantially. We've got the live cockpit view here, a full digital display that spans the entire width of the speedo and tachometer. The graphics are lovely. One interesting thing to note is that the tach actually revs the opposite direction, counterclockwise like an Aston instead of clockwise. Check this out. But it looks extremely futuristic in its design. To the right of that, we have another 12.3-inch screen, which uses iDrive 7, a much more improved version of the previous generations. It is much more intuitive and the graphics are beautiful. It can be controlled in a multitude of different ways. We've of course got the standard dial here that you can use to scroll, but you can also touch it. It's a touchscreen. You can use swiping motions. And then there are a host of gestures that I don't really know how to do that you can activate as well. I know this turns the volume up, which works really well if you have your finger in the right spot. You can even talk to it. The rest of the interior is very pleasant to look at. The seats are comfortable and supportive. The host of buttons you have here to control the infotainment system look nice and feel good. I love the knurled metal on the vents here. They're not actually metal, I believe it's plastic, but just that nice little touch of detail. We've also got a pretty interesting and unique graphic setup for the air conditioning unit, all the buttons next to each other and two little digital displays. If we throw the car into reverse, we've got an excellent backup camera with lines that show you exactly where the vehicle is going to go. Also got an aerial view here with a bunch of radars. There's also an option for a complete 3D surround view of the X5 in real time, where you can actually see the environment around you and you can use gestures to move the X5 and see every square inch around the vehicle. Then you have no excuses for bad parking jobs. There are 11 different leather options to customize the interior exactly to your liking. This is black Vernasca leather that looks nice. There are some upgrades with quilted stitching that look even more fantastic. But seriously, it is a nice place to be inside of the X5. There are also 4 levels of standard trim options for the paneling on the interior here, ranging from aluminum to various wood types, and you can get even more options if you go through BMW individual. Now, in the center console area here, we also have a wireless charging station for your phone. There's a USB port. We've got a nice size area here with USB-C charging for more modern phones. Let's go hop in the back and see what space is like back there. The rear space of the X5 is plentiful. We have plenty of legroom as well as headroom. The seats are at the perfect recline. Now they don't recline, but honestly, it feels very comfortable on my bad back here. Roomy, and we've also got some amenities. We've got USB-C charging in the rear of the seat here, same with on the other side. There's also a little slot where you can insert BMW attachments for various things, such as hanging your suit or really whatever you want. Now here, we've got climate control access, dual zone in the rear, dual zone in the front. Also got some ambient lighting that looks nice. I like the purple. Let's head back in the front seat. BMW has broken down the X5 into 3 different tiers when you're adding options to it. There is the convenience tier, which is this model here. The entry level comes with Sirius and comfort access and 4-zone climate control. Then there is the premium tier that comes with a little more. You get gesture control, heads-up display, as well as wireless charging and advanced USBs. Then you have the executive trim level that comes with the laser LED headlights, soft close doors, heated and cooled cup holders, and a host of other upgrades as well. There are a host of other standalone options as well. You can get a heated steering wheel, you can get heated armrests. The heated and cooled cup holders thing is a very neat invention. I love that. And for audiophiles, you can get 2 levels of upgraded sound systems. You can get the Hardin Karman system, you can get the Bowers & Wilkins Diamond surround sound system. There is also a luxury seating package, which gives you massaging and ventilation so you can relax while you drive. The big news is the X5 is better set up for off-roading than ever before. With the optional off-roading package, you get a host of upgrades that custom tailor the X5 to be as good as it can be off-piste. So we've got a mechanical locking differential. There's also underguards that protect the underside of the car from banging on rocks and penetrating into the cabin or the engine area. We've also got 4 different custom tailored driving modes. There's sand mode, gravel mode, rock mode, and snow mode. They all have different characteristics in terms of throttle response and traction control. In sand mode, we keep the RPMs high so you can dig your way out. with the off-road mode gives you the availability to raise and lower the car on demand for better ground clearance. We also have hill descent control that allows the X5 itself to go slowly as is necessary down a very steep incline so that the wheels don't slip and cause you to go down the hill too rapidly. Works very, very well. So what is the X5 actually like to drive? Well, it is brilliant. It's got dynamic damper control as standard on the X5, so body roll is a little bit less than you'd expect on a traditional SUV. But where the BMW shines is in its steering feel. The steering wheel itself is the perfect diameter. I love the leather. It fits in your hand nicely, but the responsiveness is sharp for a non-M car. It actually feels lively in the corners, like it wants to have a bit of fun. I guess that's why BMW calls itself the sport activity vehicle instead of a sport utility vehicle. Now we've got a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission that's more responsive than many supercars. I'm in third gear right now, downshift to second instantly, upshift instantaneous. The power comes on very linearly, and for 335 horsepower, it feels quick. It actually does. Which begs the question, do you actually need the xDrive 50i? It depends how much you like speed, I guess. There is an upgraded suspension available on the X50i that limits body roll more than this vehicle. So if you do want to go in the canyons and have some more fun in your SUV, that might be the option to go for. But in terms of driving dynamics, it really is fun to drive. For those that want even more precise steering, there is an active steering option for $1,150 that gives you four-wheel steering for increased stability at high speeds and increased agility at low speeds. So the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction of the fronts when you're going at low speeds in parking lots or around corners like this. So it effectively shortens the wheelbase of the car and allows you to turn quicker. Then at high speeds, they go in the same direction, effectively lengthening the wheelbase and enhancing stability. It actually does make an enormous difference. BMW had a large focus on safety and technology with the new X5. As standard, it's got frontal collision warnings, it's got blind spot monitoring, it's even got a rear view setup for cross-traffic alerts and pedestrian protection. And then if you get the driving assistance professional package, things get really interesting. It's got lane keep assist that allows you to stay within the lanes with your hands off the wheel. It also has automatic lane change, can speed itself up in traffic or slow itself down depending upon the speed limit. Then there's the extended traffic jam assistant that up to 37 miles an hour, you can have your hands completely off of the steering wheel, and it actually uses a camera to track your eyes to see if you are paying attention to the road or not. And if it sees you aren't, then it cancels the system. Now, if you are using the automatic lane keep assist at higher speeds, instead of turning the system off, it actually has the safety feature built in where if you're not paying attention, it slowly slows the vehicle down to a stop, just in case you've fallen asleep or aren't paying attention whatsoever. That way you don't all of a sudden go off the lane and crash into a tree. But it slows down slow enough so you don't get rear-ended either. All in all, the BMW X5 is a very complete package, packed with technology. It's now got a new off-road prowess, and it's very comfortable to drive. It is so quiet and serene in the cabin. And you don't have to spend the extra money for the xDrive 50i to get that extra power, because honestly, the 335 horsepower in this model is enough for 99% of people. Now, there are those people who want the X5M, and I can't wait for that. But honestly, the X5 is a bunch of fun to drive and just a nice place to spend the day. If you've got a long commute, just sit back and relax and enjoy the ride in your X5. Or if you want to go off-roading or pack a whole bunch of stuff in the back with that enormous 72.3 cubic inches of space, you can do that and more. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of the BMW X5. I had a blast with this thing. Make sure to browse the channel and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next video.